Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're going to be watching this or from where you're watching this. Let me turn the lighting to remove some of that. Okay, that's better. The war in Ukraine has started. Some of you might say, "Hey, Slavic, what it's all about? Why would we care?" Maybe you guys don't care and won't care, but that's where I was born. Where we still, my dad's side families, my dad has his family there, his brothers and sisters, his nephews and nieces, and so on, their kids. Some probably are not no longer alive. Um, from the previous company I was CEO of in Florida, some some of the people from Ukraine were contracted out to do some work for us on the marketing side, and I don't even know what his situation. I've been trying to get hold of you that on the western side of Ukraine, they're still okay. They're prepping to leave the country if opportunity arises. So, yeah, the situation not great. Next, I did raise a question. Is this the beginning of a third World War III? Let's actually look at the and kind of analyze the situation. Europe is partially involved because of the NATO and Ukraine being part of the NATO. So can Europe kind of stand aside and walk away and say, you know what, we're not, we were trying to get involved, but at this point, we're not going to be getting involved to prevent a World War III? Now, United States, part of the NATO as well, responded. And if NATO responds, so will they. And if NATO respond, that means they have to respond heavily. That means United States is dragged into it as well. Then on the Russia side, you have China. If you look at some of the news, Japan is actually are in a fear of being invaded by China, even though China has not been showing signs lately of any movement. But they've been pressuring Japan for the last couple of years as well. So what actually happening in this world? Looks like the whole northern hemisphere is kind of getting involved, are kind of going to be dragged in somehow, some way into this. Let's look at some. I'm not gonna, turn on videos because of the YouTube policies, but let's look at some things. So yeah, as you guys can see, things are moving in. This is actually in Kiev. As you guys can see the thumbnail image as explosions and smokes are going in. Response of, or look at that vehicle. Yeah, I'm guessing today morning between United States and Europe, there's NATO is supposed to be a meeting deciding how they're going to move and proceed forward. So yeah, I don't even know what to say other than seeing two outcomes out of this. If NATO gets seriously involved, maybe there is an opportunity for Ukraine to survive in existence. What that means, you're looking at World War III. If possible War III, I doubt Putin will actually pull back. Now, if NATO decides to step aside, Russia will finish the work that they have not been able to finish for the last 100 years. They'll just wipe Ukraine and Ukrainians off the face of the earth. Like I mentioned in the beginning, that's where I was born. I still have cousins live there, uncles, aunts. For those of you that still pray to someone, I would ask, can you put in a prayer for Ukraine, for Ukrainian people? On the financial side of it, crypto. Let me give you guys screen here, and I have to pull this aside. And as you guys can see, let me enlarge this. As a response to war, Bitcoin has came down and trading under 36,000. Because of the war, people will be moving money. Let's look at Dell. US stock. And stock market has already opened up in the United States. So as we can see, Dow is down to 2.3%. Nasdaq is 1.5. S&P is 1.8. I heard that the Russian market is collapsed quite a bit. Currency. Let's look at 5 days. So euro dollar is somewhat climbing. So still old data. I do apologize. Not sure exactly what I'm looking at and what I should be looking at here. So it continues to come down, continues to come down. So let's go back to crypto. So has it broken? No, it has not broken the last low. I think it's going to be an interesting day to see what happens next. SHIB is low. Let me add XRP. We'll just do this. So XRP is coming down as well. Harmony is below its last. So Harmony is actually has a clear M, as you guys can see. FTM, same situation, guys. I'll have to move the camera a little so I can see. So we're having the same M situation on FTM. Ethereum, kind of still, we see something. It's kind of hard to see what exactly are we seeing. Are this considered to be an M? We had an M here, but AVAX still coming down. But if looking at AVAX, this is actually one of the coins that have possibility will be the first to break out the target bottom. Same thing here. Same thing here, another M right there. So pretty much this M right here has complete. So might be trading side until it's ready to break off. V2 is where actually I have my money in, or part of. So yeah, we're breaking lower than the couple last times. Dent is another one. We breaking lower than the last couple times, and if it continues, we might actually break lower than it ever been. So those are the crypto situations. So, as people start moving currency, where people can be moving currency when crypto is not reliable, stock market is not reliable. I haven't looked at gold. We want to do 30 days. So 30 days gold is rising. 7 days been rising. Silver is rising as well. So while we see stock market and other places are getting a hit, Looks like gold is gaining. But again, this is still an old data. It's the February 22nd. I'm looking. I want to look for current chart. What is how is gold and silver responding? You know, based on current information of. Alright, so looks like since this been rising until this morning news when Russia started attacking Ukraine. So it took up. Right now is down. I think this is actually the growth when Russia started attacking Ukraine, and right now, as the U.S. market opened up, uh, banks are buying, are selling some gold, or I don't know what's exactly here's the situation, but looks like we're getting some response of a pullback. I will keep you guys updated and posted. I know for most of you, it's you guys don't really care. You have no relationship with Ukraine. You know, it's something happening around the world. But, you know, like the war was in Iraq. Something's happening down there. Who cares? But for me, is where I was born. So for me, it's kind of personal, and like I said, still family there. I want to say, be blessed, be wise, be smart, because something that I haven't mentioned yet on YouTube, but I have spoken with some of my friends, and I said, whatever's starting in Ukraine possibly can be detrimental to all of us across the world. See, this war in Ukraine from the Russia been it's been since 1930s and 1940s, maybe even earlier than that, but based on some of the things I've been introduced to as growing up, yeah, Russians have not been nice to Ukraine. Let's put it say never. So, as some people say, oh, the whole world hates Jews. I'll say the same. The whole world hates Ukrainians, but maybe not the whole world, but especially the Russians. Even though we as Ukrainians learn to live with it, but let me ask you this question: how long do you allow a bully to bully you before you turn around and you say, it's enough? Is Ukrainian got to the point where they saying it's going to be enough? Probably in the next couple of days we'll see. New YouTube video. I'll be surprised but I think based on some of the things, it looks like Facebook is blowing up. Everything's blowing up with this. with everything that's going on in Ukraine. Be safe, be blessed. Um, and I'll keep you guys posted. But right now they're taking out, kind of give you guys an idea. Right now they're taking out airports and military installations, military factories. Those are the places right now that they are taking out by air missiles and Russia, ground to air as well as air to ground missiles. So that's kind of what. So right now they're not other, they didn't take in Luhansk and that other those two cities. Right now they're just crossing the border and taking out major facilities to paralyze and not able for the Ukraine not able to respond. So those are the situations right now. Be blessed.